for you.
Fireworks here at Broadcast House tonight. Mike Duggan and Benny Napoleon squaring off for the very last time before Election Day.
It is just 1 week away, and both candidates working to win your vote tonight. Benny Napoleon assuring voters the race is not over, and Mike Duggan declaring his opponent may regret some of the comments left on the floor tonight.
We have Team 7 coverage. Julie Bonovich went to get answers from the candidates themselves. Glenda Lewis finds out if they won over any undecided voters.
But let's start with a look at tonight's debate.
No matter what poll you look at or what Detroiter you listen to, two critical issues have to be addressed by the next mayor of Detroit: crime and blight.
We have got to cut the police response time. We've got to get the cops to show up.
The real issue is not response time, because response time happens after you're a victim. My plan focuses on keeping you from being a victim.
For a long time, Detroiters have been gouged when it comes to insurance rates.
What we need to do as a community is create an insurance pool where Detroiters finally say enough is enough, that we're not going to be redlined, we're not going to be disrespected, and we're not going to be abused.
I believe the most effective way for us to deal with the way we're being gouged on insurance rates is the city of Detroit needs to form our own insurance company.
But when it comes to bankruptcy, neither like the idea of the emergency manager. But when asked for specifics to help retirees,
the pension rights of public employees is enshrined in the Constitution of the state of Michigan. The Constitution says that these public employees' pensions cannot be tampered with. I don't know what more assurance we have. Whatever has to be done to save their pensions shall be done, and it will be done.
Because if you're cutting their pension, you're cutting what they were planning to live on the rest of their lives. And here's the part that makes no sense. Of the $12 billion debt that we're looking at, the pension is only about $2 billion of it. There are several ways that we can solve this problem without cutting into retirees' pensions.
the candidates did get testy around the issue of what Duggan has done and perhaps not done for the Detroit Medical Center.
Just as I did at DMC, I'd love to pull this community together and bring this city back. I don't believe we needed bankruptcy. I think we could have done it on our own.
Thousands of employees laid off. Nurses union was busted. $500,000 salary when he started, $2 million when he left. Bonds downgraded in 2010. The turnaround of the DMC is a fallacy. Fact check it. Everything I just said is true, so you need to admit it.
I don't believe you even said that. I mean, there are some things you're going to regret when this campaign is over. When I came in, DMC had lost $500 million in 5 years, and we had 11,000 employees, thousands of whom were about to be laid off. We made money 9 years in a row.
Our coverage continues right now with 7 Action News reporter Julie Bonovich.
Julie, you talked with both candidates right after the debate. How did they think it went tonight?
Hi, Carolyn. Steve and I did, and they both think it went well. I talked with them right here after they got off the podium. This is where it took place here in Studio A, and as soon as they stepped away from this podium, I stepped in and went one-on-one with them. When the TV microphones came off, Mike Duggan and Benny Napoleon shared a few words. We wanted to know, what did they say to one another?
We just congratulated each other. We've been friends for a long time, and another week we're going to be friends again. It's going to be just fine.
Mike and I have gotten along over the course of years. You know, this is campaign, it ain't personal.
So how did Duggan feel when Napoleon called his turnaround of the DMC a fallacy?
People in Detroit know the true story, so it's okay. This is just the kind of stuff that gets said in campaigns.
But Duggan told Napoleon during the debate he would regret that comment at some point.
I got faith, I don't have fear. So I don't know what he was talking about. Bring it on, whatever it happens to be.
Both candidates brought it on with their different jabs. So did anyone cross the line tonight?
No, I mean, he was very cordial, actually.
No, there wasn't anything said tonight I wasn't expecting.
Even though things did get a little heated in closing arguments.
When you get to the end of the campaign and things aren't going your way, you say things you don't mean.
No, you haven't seen me cross the line. I know how to cross the line.
Overall, though, how did the candidates think they fared?
I thought he was very strong. Hopefully, I matched up okay, and I guess the viewers will decide for themselves.
It went fine. I have no problems with it. Okay. I mean, everything was okay. It was what I expected.
And both did tell me they still have a lot of work to do, and you can expect to see them in the neighborhoods knocking on doors, trying to get those last votes. Reporting live, Julie Bonovich for 7 Action News. Steve and Carolyn, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Julie. Now, the debate was the last chance for the candidates to reach a big audience to try and change the minds of undecided voters. Stephen?
Yeah, we had an auditorium full of people at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History tonight, but a little girl who's too young to vote caught everybody's attention. 7 Action News reporter Glenda Lewis with that part of our coverage from Detroit.
When the cameras went off, the questions kept rolling here inside the museum, and our undecided voters, well, still undecided.
My dad used to sell candles, and I used to go out with him.
6 years, and we're not talking about her age. That's how long little Asia Newson has been a Detroit entrepreneur. The 10-year-old makes and sells her own candles, made $16,000 last year. But her question for the candidates, who's going to make a way for her?
Like Duggan is talking about what he did in the past, and I think that he should be talking about what he did in the what he's going to do in the future for the children. And Benny Napoleon is saying some very positive words, but he's debating a little bit too much.
Why did you bring her here tonight to look toward the future?
I want to be informed about what's going on in our city.
Information, concern, clarity, just a few of the things this entire audience at the Charles H. Wright Museum was looking for when they focused on the screen at the two men promising Detroit a better future.
The debate was very informative today. I was undecided before I came in, and I think I've made up my mind on what candidate I was going to choose.
I think I'm leaning more in one direction than the other now. I'm going to do a little bit more research before Tuesday comes, and I'm going to make the right selection for Detroit.
It's very important to get out and vote.
There were more questions than time, but whether answers came to this crowd, we'll know come next week.
I'm still undecided. Still undecided.
One thing for sure, 1 week from tonight, the decision will really be in the hands of Detroit voters. At the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, I'm Glenda Lewis, 7 Action News.
Social media is playing a bigger role in this election than any other in Detroit history. Tonight, our #7 debate was tweeted nearly 1,000 times during the hour-long debate, reaching nearly 500,000 people. And those tweets reflected our polling weighted toward candidate Mike Duggan with comments like this here. It says, "Thanks, Duggan, for Detroit for giving details on how you'll fix the city, not just stating the problem like Benny did." Not quite as many in favor of Benny Napoleon. Like this one right here was, though. Benny came back with the TKO. While Mike was sleeping in Livonia, I was putting on the vest and the Glock. Of course, reflecting the 23% still undecided, 2 tweets in a row. Take a look at this one. The sheriff put on quite a show while Duggan for Detroit kept on point. We'll see who wins. Both positive. Of course, there's this one right here. Both candidates stiff and cold at the Detroit debate. Where's the charisma? Now, interestingly, the top tweeter using #7 debate, this guy, Mike Duggan. His Twitter page, Duggan for Detroit, tweeted 41 times during the debate. Benny Napoleon, on the other hand, tweeted just 12 times.